And let us look with a newfound excitement at our next speaker. Khan Academy will always carry the name, as it should, of its great founder, Sal Khan. But I'll tell you a secret. There would be no College Board-Khan partnership, which I think will be historic not just for the College Board, but for Khan Academy itself, without the remarkable woman who is about to speak to you. She has a quiet force. She has a toughness that is not immediately felt, but known through her intelligence and total focus on delivering her work. She has something which I find incredibly enviable. She is popular and easy in her office. She is charming and powerful, but so clear and so able that her pure merit and power has forged this partnership and deepened it every day. Everything we do for the millions of students who use Khan Academy in collaboration with us courses through this next generation of leadership that you are lucky to see now face to face. What a great way to conclude our forum, to see what's possible with a leader like Elizabeth. Thank you for being among us.
Wow, thank you so much, Albert and David, for that introduction. I really appreciate it, and I didn't expect to hear sort of a feminist introduction, but I love it, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. I always will welcome that. I'm so happy to be here today speaking to all of you. I see there are a lot of people in the room. Most of you kind of are a haze right now in the light, but I'm just so honored to be included here. I'm here from Khan Academy, which is a nonprofit organization with a mission of providing a free world-class education for anyone, anywhere. We do that in two main ways. The first is we try to help learners with their immediate needs. So let's say it's 10 p.m. and you just don't understand mitosis, but you really need to understand mitosis to get your homework done or do well on your biology quiz tomorrow, or just to make sense of what you learned in class. We want to be there for you in that moment. We offer you videos and text explanations and quizzes so you can check your understanding and master skills at your own pace. And these videos and these text explanations, they're there for you to consume as many times as you want. No one's hovering over your shoulder asking, did you get it yet? You can just watch it or read it as many times as you need. You can practice as many problems until you feel really confident that you've gotten it. What we're trying to do is to give students that high that you get when something that was complex and elusive to you finally clicks. We want students to know that with hard work, they really can learn anything. And we have these resources, these tens of thousands of videos and articles and hundreds of thousands of practice questions. They're all available for free across a range of subjects, from math and science to medicine and art history. The other main way that we try to help students is by helping them achieve their longer-term learning goals. So in addition to helping them understand mitosis at 10 p.m., we also help them learn computer programming or master trigonometry. And the way that we do this is we build these personalized learning experiences that take the best of learning research in Silicon Valley and create personalized ways for students to master skills at their own pace, to get step-by-step explanations to make sure they understand things, and to support them and congratulate them when they achieve their goals. These two types of support for learners, helping them in the immediate moment when they really have an acute need, and also helping them achieve longer-term goals, were the two things that Sal, our founder, was trying to do famously now for his cousins when Khan Academy first got started. And the ethos that he started Khan Academy with is still part of our organization today. But now we're not just reaching Sal's cousins. Now, through the magic of technology, we're able to reach a lot of people's cousins all around the world. And Khan Academy is reaching people in every corner of the globe. We have 1 million educators using our site, more than 30 million learners who have collectively practiced more than 4 billion questions, which is just an unfathomable number. But despite all this scale and reach, we feel like we're just getting started. Our mission of free world-class education for anyone, anywhere is not going to happen overnight. And we're in this journey for the long haul. So in early 2014, David Coleman, who just gave probably the loveliest introduction that I'll ever hear in my entire life, emailed us in Khan Academy, and we got an email from David Coleman at the College Board, and we're sitting in our little office in Mountain View, California, and he said, "Can we talk on the phone?" We said, "Sure." And we got on the phone with him, and as we all know now, College Board is changing the SAT, and in 2016 there will be a redesigned SAT. So he told us a little bit about it, and he said in addition to redesigning the SAT, making it more transparent and fairer, more equitable, College Board also had another vision. They wanted to level the playing field, to counter the inequity that we all know about that's been perpetuated by some students being able to afford high-priced test prep and other students not being able to afford that. And he asked if we could work together to do something about this. College Board bringing the expertise of the SAT. After all, College Board creates the test. Who better to know about it? And Khan Academy bringing our experience, creating deep, rigorous, personalized learning experiences that students find engaging and delightful, even. And we thought this sounded very intriguing. First of all, Khan Academy is all about trying to help unblock barriers to students achieving their goals, and the SAT fits really well into that. We also had been interested in the college admissions space for a while. We'd begun doing some video interviews with college admissions counselors and high school guidance counselors, with first-generation college students explaining to their peers how they navigated the college admissions process. And actually now, through our partnership with the College Board, we've been aligning our college admissions resources with Big Future to make sure that together they complement one another and help students out. So we were already interested in helping students with college admissions, and so working together on SAT prep sounded intriguing to us, and we jumped at the chance to do it. But College Board and Khan Academy both knew that if we were going to do this, we couldn't just make free test prep. We needed to make the world's best test prep that just so happened to be free. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to take a crack at leveling the playing field. So we assembled a team of educators and designers, data scientists, and software engineers at Khan Academy. We put together a student advisory board so we could hear directly from students. We worked out some pilot plans with teachers, and College Board had many people from their team work with us as well. The people who actually write the exam itself were deeply embedded with our team, and we got to work. And earlier this year, we launched the first version of official SAT practice on Khan Academy. It starts out with a friendly welcome to students, letting them know what they're about to do, and then they can take a diagnostic so that we can figure out where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are so they can best focus their time. And if students choose, they'll be able to link their College Board account and their Khan Academy account so that we can actually power the experience with their PSAT score information, tailoring it based on what they got right and wrong on that test. Students can practice a virtually unlimited set of questions on every skill type at every level on the SAT to gain familiarity and practice. And for every question, we'll tell them whether they got the answer right or wrong and provide an explanation of the right answer so that they can learn from it. It was really important to us in designing this that we were extremely transparent with students, letting them know at any time what level they're at, overall on math or overall on reading and writing, as well as skill by skill, so they knew exactly which areas they needed more work on and which areas they were already strong in, so that they can choose where to spend their time. We think that this type of information is extremely empowering to students, and it's one of the benefits of technology, and we want to make it accessible to students. It's not just practice problems, though. Students can also access videos and articles teaching them the fundamental skills and concepts covered on the SAT. Because we don't just want students to practice questions. The whole point of this is to make sure they learn the prerequisite knowledge, the fundamental concepts that will help them do well on the SAT, but also do well in college and beyond, right? That's the whole goal of this, is to make it a really rigorous and empowering learning experience, not just test prep. Students can do single item practice, they can read entire passages, and they can even do timed practice tests, where we'll keep track of their scores and then make recommendations for what to practice based on what they got right and wrong on the test. And then, of course, we have information about the test itself and tips from the College Board, the makers of the exam, and from tutors and fellow peers of the students. What we want is when students get to test day, they think, oh yeah, I've done this. I've taken multiple exams. I'm very familiar with the structure of it. I've practiced my skills. I know my strengths. I've filled in my gaps. Yeah, let's do this. I'm ready to rock this test. And so we're trying to guide them to get to that day feeling like it's a celebration of all the hard work they've done, all the practice they've put in, everything they've learned. So when we built this product and put it out there in the world, launched it earlier this summer, we were really proud of what we'd done, and I continue to be very proud of our team. I think it's been a huge effort across 2 organizations, multiple teams in each, really dedicated to improving student outcomes. But we were also impressed by sort of what a nerve it hit in the public, how much excitement there was among people who might not ever really think much about education, realizing what this could mean for our society. We were particularly impressed by what the press had to say. Time magazine said, having a trusted one-stop shop resource from the people that actually create the test and people who understand how to do online education in a thoughtful way, it's a game changer. Wired said, it's a radically democratic reboot of the test prep industry focused relentlessly on real learning. Now, you probably don't need me to tell you that that's not the type of feedback that the press gives test prep all the time, right? It's pretty laudatory for the press. So we were very happy to see that. We felt this way too. But of course, we were doing it for the students most of all. And so we asked students what they thought, and they said, SAT prep classes are much too expensive. Why spend hours in an overpriced class when I can use Khan Academy whenever I want for free? It's the only SAT practice I can afford. Also, it's the most effective and productive practice for me. I like the way it makes us feel like we have a teacher at home. It's tailored to my personal strengths and weaknesses, showing me what to work on. But it's not just those 2 press outlets or those 3 students. We're already reaching a considerable number of people. Nearly 500,000 learners have already used official SAT practice on Khan Academy. And I believe that's more than the total number of people who take commercial SAT prep courses annually. And that's only happened in the past couple months since we launched. So we're very proud of that. Yeah. We're still months away from the first administration of the new SAT in March, but we've already seen some students taking full-length practice exams and lots of students doing practice questions. You know, this is one of those things where if you build it, they will come to some extent, and that's already been borne out in the numbers. But we don't just want some students to use this. We want to make sure that all students are aware of this. We might have gotten rid of the financial gap. You don't have to pay now to prepare for the SAT, but I suspect we still have an information gap. There are some students who are always aware of every resource that's ever created for the SAT. They're very savvy and they know what's out there. There are other students who don't have access to that information, who aren't in the circles where this is being discussed. And that's why I'm so excited to be here today. I'm always happy to talk about Khan Academy. I'm always happy to show people the SAT resources that we developed with the College Board. But the reason I'm so happy to be here today is because I'm in a room full of people who work directly with students, who already are doing all kinds of work to help students do well on the SAT, navigate the college admissions process, get into college and graduate from college and succeed in their lives. And I have an ask for you, and that's please help us spread the word. Please help us make sure that every single student who could use this is aware that it exists. Not only because we want them to use it, but because we want them to know what it means, that there are a bunch of adults who care enough about their future to have invested a bunch of time building something that is excellent and free to them. We want them to know that we value their practice, we value their commitment to excellence. We value their future enough to help them achieve their dreams. So please, already at this conference, we've heard some great stories from Orange County Public Schools, Boys and Girls Club, College Spring, about how they're already using official SAT practice on Khan Academy with their students. And we'd like to hear more stories. If you think this could be helpful to students you know, maybe students you teach at your high school, or students you work with in an after-school program or a community-based organization, students that you counsel, your own children, if there's anybody that you can tell about this, please do. And if you use this and you find it helpful, please tell us. We have a site here where you can go and share your story, both so that we can hear how this is being used and so that everyone can learn from one another. And we'll feature some of the stories to kind of spread the word and share creative ideas with one another. We also want to know from you what it would take to make this more effective and more engaging, because we're in this for the long haul. We want to make this the best resource it possibly can be. So please let us know. I'm sure you might be wondering, well, how could I use this with my students? And you'll check out the stories and you'll see all kinds of ideas on our site. But Tierney, who might give a wave right now, is over here in the corner. She's put together some fantastic implementation guides on how you can start using this right away in whatever setting you're in. So please pick up a guide from her after this and check it out for some really fantastic ideas. This is not a silver bullet, but it's also not nothing. In fact, I think it's a pretty big deal to have a test maker share the secret sauce, the behind-the-scenes information about a test with a third party, Khan Academy, so that we can design the best, most personalized test prep resources that have ever existed that are really focused on real deep learning. And I want to commend the College Board for doing that, for not turning a blind eye to the inequalities that have been persistent in test prep for a long time and in addressing them head on. This is, we always hoped, more than just a product, more than just another tech solution put out there. We hope that it can become part of the bigger movement to increase access to higher education and to empower students. And we're hoping that you can help us make that happen, and together we can all get a little bit closer to a free world-class education for anyone, anywhere. Thank you. Thank you. We actually have some time for Q&A, so please come forward to the microphones. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has. To start us off, while everyone's thinking of their questions, we got one that we saw on Twitter earlier was about, how did we actually go about developing the content that you would see on the official SAT practice resources? And it was a really great example of a collaboration between College Board and Khan Academy. So the full-length practice exams that you see on the site were created by the College Board, just like they would write any SAT. But some of the practice items were created by Khan Academy in close partnership with College Board. The people who actually write the SAT itself trained our team on how to write SAT items. And then our team wrote them, and they were reviewed by the College Board. And so it was this great sort of collaboration where they were training us and teaching us, and together we were building something that otherwise might not have been possible to create in this time span. Yes?
As a K-12 person, we're concerned that we would want to check to make sure the right students or our targeted students are using Khan Academy. Will there be a way that districts or campuses will be able to see the data usage?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the short answer is yes, absolutely. We've heard loud and clear that districts really want that information, and we're committed to providing it. Initially, we focused on building resources directly for students to help support and empower them. But we know that we can only reach the students who need this most and really empower them if we also empower the adults in their lives who care about them. And so one of the next things that we're going to be doing together is figuring out exactly how to share, what information to share so that it's consumable and easy to use and is the right information that you need to best support students.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
I would like to ask, many of the most disadvantaged students who are living in high poverty, go down the list, don't really have teachers and don't have people in their household and don't know anyone who can help them even figure out how to use a self-directed program like Khan Academy. And so I'm wondering what plans you and or College Board have for offering support to line staff at CBOs or other places after school where trusted adults are who are interacting with these young people every day.
Yeah, so that's super important, and I'm really glad that you brought it up. Part of the point of the resource I mentioned that Tierney put together is exactly to your question. It's designed to help CBOs and anyone else interested in working with students know how they can use this and kind of provide some training and guidance. And there's lots of resources that they've put together for that. So we've done a bunch of trainings and we'll continue to do those. In addition, we are looking into ways we can help students online more through sort of forums or guidance to help them navigate the process through mentorship or sort of peer study groups. Even creating schedules that students can kind of sign up for and get a friendly text message saying, hey, it's been a couple days since you've been on, or you want to come on every Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we'll let you know. So there's a bunch of different ways we can kind of support students, both by supporting the organizations that work directly with them and by building more things into the site itself. We probably have time for maybe one or two more questions if anyone has any others.
Yes, hi, I'm from Southern California, County Superintendent, and one of the questions I have is, most states are now taking smarter balance or PARCC assessments, and this is the first year we've received the CASP data. And I know it's still early on, but have you got any feedback from the students in terms of the alignment and the support that by going through this also aligns with the new state testing?
Yeah, I guess it would be too early to say right now because the testing happened before we launched this, but I'm very hopeful that going forward, it will help with that. And part of it is what we've put together here, and part of it is the alignment of the SAT to what students are learning in the classroom. And so hopefully by kind of getting everything aligned better, the work that students do in their classroom will help them do better on the SAT. The work that students do on our site to prepare for the SAT will help them in the classroom, and it will all just be kind of a nice virtuous cycle.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, well, thank you all so much for coming today. I really appreciate it and appreciate all of the enthusiasm at the end there. And so since I still have the floor, I will just say once again, please share this with anyone you know who might benefit from it. KhanAcademy.org/SAT, easy enough to remember. We would love to get this out there to as many students as possible. Thanks so much.